Hello there, my YouTube family. How are you? I pray today is an awesome day for you. I am back like I promised for part 2 of transcriptional and translational life control codings by the narcissist. Many of you are saying, no matter what I do, I seem to always be drawn to a narcissist. All of my relationships have been narcissists, or most of them have been narcissists. I was reared in a narcissistic home, or I was always around narcissistic people. What is the problem? Please go to the YouTube channel and get part 1 of transcriptional and translational life codings of control by the narcissist. You have been coded. When we grow up, our environment registers us for the realm of continuum. It makes us continue the cycle, continue the pattern, continue the role. We brace ourselves for what we're always familiar with. Nothing new activates, because that's not our frequency of occurrences. Our frequency is to get us back to what we know, get us back to what we used to, and that frequency is a transcription and a translation. When you doing this transcription with the narcissist, that is the realm of intent. You are being prepared, you are being trained, you are being taught. It's etched on your mind, it's etched on your memory, and this sets you up for an activation system that is pattern. It's a system that no matter what you do, you're going to do the familiar. And then the translation comes in the interpretation of what the transcription or the imprint on your life is, and you give way, you give excuse. Like a lot of people who's used to dominant relationship, they're used to malignant relationship, that if they meet a guy that really care for them, to them is something wrong. The guy is awkward, he's too nice, he's too kind, he must want something. That's not what I'm used to. That's the translation. Now your experience is being translated by your life, and your life is dictatorial of where you've been. It becomes your historical account. And so instead of exploring new adventures, you go back and pull those files of the familiar, and you start walking in the familiar, because the familiar is what you're comfortable with. It's what you are used to doing. Change isn't change until you change. And if you do the same thing and expect something different, many mark this as insanity. You have to allow yourself to grow beyond where you have been, but you have to wake yourself up into an awareness of what's going on in your life. When you have a pattern and it's the same thing, the same people, no matter what you do, it's the same people. You go through the same people, you go through the same things, because your mind is used to the familiar. As a matter of fact, your mind know how to pick up the familiar. There's 3 people. One of them is a narcissist. You will always be drawn to the narcissist. That's the beacon. And this is why the narcissists come in with transcription. The narcissist makes sure that what is transcribed on your mind, what is transcribed on your emotions, what is transcribed on your will is what you recognize, what you're used to. That even if it's painful, the pain starts to feel good. And some people are used to being ostracized. They're used to being criticized. They're used to being put aside. They're used to being put down. That is the tape recorder that keep resounding over and over and over in their mind until People look at you and they'll say, what is wrong with them? But you look at yourself and that is familiar. That is right. So you have to come in and break old systems. When you break old systems, you're not just breaking an incident, you're breaking a conglomerate of things that make up an entire system of your life, an entire system of your mind. Like what you think and certain behaviors, certain words, certain frequency, certain feels, certain abuses, certain neglect, certain misalignment, certain criticism. All of these things make up a system, and in your mind, that is the system of your mind. And this is why when you get out of one narcissistic relationship, you'll find yourself in another narcissistic relationship and another narcissistic relationship. And some people have even got down to, they not only is their fiance, their husband, their lovers are narcissists, their friends, they're drawn to friends, then they're drawn to bosses, until what is around you, you have totally magnetized. Everything that you was reared with, everything that you was raised with. When you are raised up, that becomes the calibration of what you're used to. It becomes the taste measure, the palate that you're used to. When you're used to parents abusing you and you get with someone that abuse you, it is a similar. There's nothing awkward. You are used to it. And so when the narcissists come and totally devaluate you, gaslight you, tell you all the time that you are nothing, that you don't matter, that you are the most insignificant person they've ever met. You didn't hear how insignificant you were. You heard how you are. You hear your personality. You hear what you deserve. Some people think they deserve the criticism of the narcissist, because if I was any good, they wouldn't talk to me like this. If I really straighten up, then maybe they'll do something different. No, that's your beacon. That's your frequency. That's your magnetism. That's what you're going to draw until you change your insides. When you change who you are internally, you'll change what you draw externally. Your external a lot of times become the measuring stick of what you believe about yourself inside. You deserve so much more. You are so much more. But every time you try to come out, you can hear the words of criticism in your ear, and you pull back from the truths that you are. You pull back from the power that's in your life right now, and you allow people to dissuade you, to dishonor you, to devalue you, to tell you that you are not worth it, that you are insignificant, that you are falling short of the regular measurement, the average measurement. And sometimes you can transfer that over to your children, and you didn't even mean to do it, but that is your calibration. That is your transcription. And so this transcription start getting your interpretation of the language of your being, of how you are. And you are more than that. Many of you, he's left and came back. And the reason he left and came back, he know you would be there. You were tested before he left. He tried things before he left. She tried things before she left. She left the day and did not call and came back to see your response. Got on the phone with someone else and wanted you to know it was somewhere else, to see, will you stand up and say, I will not tolerate it, or will you excuse and legitimize the neglect, to legitimize the malignancy, until you think I deserve what he or she is doing against me. You never deserve wrongdoing. You never deserve that. You are so much better than what someone does for you when they are mistreating you. And this is why everything happens from the inside out. A narcissist is broken inside. They were broken young. Something happened to devastate them, and they feel like they couldn't change it. They locked themselves inside of themselves. So their life became the closet of their personality. It became the closet of their will, and they didn't love because what they loved was snatched away, and love always hurts. So they went inside, and they went so deep until they couldn't come out. They went so deep within themselves until their nature wouldn't afford afford them another opportunity. All the doors was closed, all the gates was closed. Their love now is what happens for them. That's why they call it a personality disorder. It is the person, it is the encased being. That is the core of who they are. That no matter how you shave them down, no matter how you cut them, no matter how you layer them, this is the essence of who they are. They are a narcissist. They are narcissists, not but they are narcissists, and they have behavior that testify to their nature. When you go to someone who knows about the personality disorder, NPD, they know there's going to be hurt. They know that you have been traumatized. They know that you've been tormented, because that's what the narcissist does. It is an automatic trait in their behavior. They are drawn to pain, and you know if a person is drawn to pain, then they're going to cause pain, because whatever they're drawn to, that is their release value system. And so you are there saying, I want to change them, and then you leave one narcissist, next thing you know you have another narcissist. And each time you notice that each narcissistic relationship becomes worse and worse and worse and worse, that every relationship you go to, you seem to draw a stronger narcissist, a more malignant narcissist. Come on, you draw a narcissist whose behavior is stronger than the last one. His words are more malignant than the last one. They devalue you more than the last one. And so you have to change the beacon. And how you change the beacon is you have to change the inside of you. If you was raised by narcissist parents, and the narcissist parent made you feel that you were the golden child, a lot of golden children are broken because they've had their life taken over, and they'll never do wrong, because to the narcissist, they are portraying their profile upon that person, that character upon that person, because the narcissists feel like it's everybody else's fault. They can never do wrong. The narcissists begin to mirror upon that person that is the golden child. Whatever they want, that's what the golden child have to do. Whatever they become or wanted to become, that's what the golden child have to become. They start seeing their life lived out through the golden child. And so the golden child never get to breathe, because they never have their own decision. They can never make up their mind about anything, because their life is cut out, schemed out. Their life is portrayed out. Their life is transcribed, written out. Why? Because it's the life that their parents want for them, and their parents want that life for them. Then that becomes the life of the narcissist. The narcissist is always proving themselves, always pleasing the parent, because the parents is making demand, and they get so much praise until the narcissist almost sometimes they get nauseated because they can't breathe. They are smothered with the life of their narcissistic parent. And sometimes it's a narcissist with a narcissist that birth a child that becomes a narcissist, and these two parents are constantly competing against each other, fighting against each other. It's always implosive, explosive, and the child is always in the midst of them. They fight for the child, because once the narcissist realize that golden child, that elite child is liked by the other narcissists, then the other narcissists, whether it's the mother or the dad, start competing for the attention of that child, and they start pulling that child's life. So you have a tug of war with two narcissists pulling on this child till this child goes on the inside. And a lot of times they disassociate from the moment, and when they disassociate from the moment, they lock themselves in a personality trait, which that child is. And that personality trait, that child locked themselves on the inside of them, and they become the whatever it takes to tolerate the parents. They stop feeling because they get crushed when they feel. So they go on the inside and they drop deeper and deeper and deeper until they whisk themselves away, and they train themselves. The narcissist parent is training themselves to have the favor of the golden child, and the golden child praised them. While they are being praised, the golden child disappears. The golden child fades out. And then the scapegoat child almost gets slaughtered, get almost killed. So the scapegoat child is always aiming to please, always doing anything for any kind of approval, anything for any kind of attention. That grows up in that scapegoat child until they drawing the narcissist, and who they are drawing is their parents. They never got the attention of their parents. They always got negative attention. They always got blamed for the golden child or what the parent did not do. They blame the scapegoat. So when the narcissists come in with control, when the narcissists come in with devaluation, the child has acclimated to that, and they think it's their fault because the root core of the relationship with their parents was, it's always your fault. So the supply that is used to being the scapegoat never see anything wrong with what the narcissist is doing. They take the pain, they take the devaluation because they think they deserve it. And when you tell them something good, now you come under suspect because now they think you want something from them. What you will have to do when a person like this is get them around positive energy, and segments of this energy will go into them. The anointing, the Bible said, because of the anointing, the yoke that shall be destroyed. You destroy the burden. Why? Because the anointing is enough fire of illumination where it opens up the human mind, it opens up the human eyes, it opens up the human heart, so you can see your authentic self. And every now and then you get glimpses of your authentic self. And when you give glimpses of your authentic self, it's everything you ever wanted, everything you ever desired. So now you are starting to get a little taste of, if you change, if you strengthen, if you build, if you become something different, if you keep getting those hints. It's like putting a little bit of coffees into hot water. If you take a little coffee, the water turns just a little bit. But if you keep putting a little bit of coffee in hot water, it turns to drinkable, satisfying coffee. And that's what happens when little segments of light goes into your life and start revealing who you are, and you start learning who you are. You start to turn to a very tasteful lifestyle, mindset, thinking pattern, imagination. You start changing from the inside until the core of who you are. Start taking on flavor, start taking on character, start taking on color, start taking on light, and you start to realize who you are. When you realize your authentic self, what happened is your values start to rise. You have no idea that while you doing this, your value is rising up. You just know now when the narcissist talk to you, it don't feel so good now when the narcissist talk to you. I'm sorry, my hair is stuck in my earring. Until the narcissist now is looking at you, and they're noticing your confidence, because the narcissists know what confidence is. Why? Because they steal the confidence of everybody else. When you are confident, have you noticed that the stronger you are, the more insecure the narcissists become, until the narcissists start thinking of ways to tear that moment down, to tear down your joy, to tear down your strength, because they have to be the epic of everything. They have to be the crust of everything. They have to have the importance on their life, not on your life. This is why I wanted to make sure I did part 2 of transcription and translational control by the narcissists. When they want to control your life, they cannot control your life until they control your mind, until they control your emotions. And once they control your emotions, your will bend where the control of the emotions and the mind is. You have to get your will, which is the mobility part of you. It is the part of you that gets it going. It's the activation system of you. And many of you have acclimated to things that are lower than you. Believe it or not, there are times the narcissist sees you. And when the narcissist sees you, they are afraid. They don't know how to handle that. They don't know how to handle their truth. and their truth is they're wretched from the inside and need deliverance. How they're going to handle your truth when you are believing a lie from the inside, and you constantly minimize and you praise the narcissist, because what the narcissist want you to do in the transcription is to write on your brain, I cannot do without them. I cannot make it without them. The narcissist tell you, everything you got, I gave it to you. Everything you are, I made you. If it wasn't for me, and a lot of times you're working, you're adding your money, and the narcissist say you're only doing your part, but I am doing the most. When you have evidence sometimes that they do less, but those words that you heard from your parents, the words that you heard from your friend, the word that you heard from boyfriend after boyfriend after boyfriend, because you only draw narcissists or narcissistic people. So you hearing those words. So when he say that, you are convinced, you believe it, you believe the lie that you need the narcissist, when the truth of it is the narcissist need you, because the narcissist need constant supply. And because you are the long-term supply, the long-term supply always suffer more than the short-term supply, because trauma bonding, it assures that you're going to remain, that you're going to stay there, that you're not going to leave. Why? Because you don't feel like you can do without the narcissist. You make the narcissist your God. Many Christians that go to church, they stop going to church, they stop reading their Bible, they stop praying. They don't even mean to stop praying. The next thing you know, there is no prayer. The next thing you know, there is no church. The next thing you know, there is no Bible reading. And if you did other sources of illumination, you're not meditating anymore. You're not going to wherever you go for a religious stirring and building. You are out of that. The narcissist has totally retracted your trail and got you off course, until now the freeway does not lead to what's going to strengthen you. It always leads to what's going to devastate you, what's going to minimize you, what's going to hinder you. And you've been driving this road so long until that's the road you think is the way to your life. And you get around people and you love the confidence whenever you do get around your friends or your family or get around somebody, the confidence they have, and you thinking, if only I could be that confident, if only I can have that. You have it on the inside. You need to be revised, reset. When you are resetting anything, you have to take it to ground zero. You have to reset it. Go to the default setting. Your default setting may have been so long ago, you don't know what that is, especially if you're a child. You were a child growing up in a narcissist's home. Then your reset go from being taken out of the hospital. You don't even have it in the womb because they were so mean to your mom while you were in the womb. So you don't have a reset. You're going to have to build a default that is going to take you from what you're used to, what is common to you, and what is known to you, to an introduction of a painful breaking open. When you've never been and you need to institute this, it's a painful breaking open. But because you're used to the pain, you can stand the pain that it takes to break you open in your new place and to build. The challenge you're going to have is when you are there with the narcissist, you are constantly getting deliberations of that is against what is going to truly free you. And these that the narcissist call deliberation is always substandard. And so you have to get to a place where you can build on a consistent basis. And the only way you can do that is what? You have to get to, if you can pick a room, if you can pick a time that the narcissist is not there, if the narcissist go to work, let that be your building time, because usually y'all don't work on the same time. And if you work on the same time, take moments, take break, instead of just bring a sandwich. So on your break, you can spend time with your default system, which is your mind. You got to introduce your mind to what it has not known. Go on YouTube, get motivational encouragement. What do you need? I need motivational encouragement, strength. Look up motivation and look up strength. And if you need encourage because you need motivation of getting up, then look up motivation and get up. And then you need to be focus. Look up motivation and look up focus. There are motivational inspirations that are here on YouTube that will constantly bless you. Always keep something like this on. Always listening to YouTube. My daughter, Dr. Carmen Bryant, some of y'all are with her, and she go live, and she's a national therapist for the state of Washington. You can watch her videos and watch my videos, and you can get strengthened, because we are somehow going to hit at some point or other what you are going through, and you can get our experience. You can get the anointing that's going to go in your life while we're talking, and it's going to liberate you. It's going to shake you. It's going to wake you. You had no energy, but as you listen to these tapes, these videos, you are having energy. You want to get up. You want to be free. You want a newness. You want another life. You want a better life. You want a prosperous life. You want to expand. But now you got to rewrite the script, the transcription of the narcissist, to write and duplicate it. Not just write it, but they do the imprint and they duplicate the imprint, because the transcription of consistency place an imprint on your mind, and then it duplicates your mind by saying the same thing to you, giving you the same ways, giving you the same situation, giving you the same circumstance. And as you're getting the same circumstances, you realize that you want change and you deserve change. And you deserve change. You deserve better. Because if you notice, your mind will help you out. Your mind will help you out in a dream, whether it's a daydream. The narcissist, all you do is sit here and stay in the daze, honey. Those are not dazes. Those are daydreams. Those daydreams come in your mind and they show you what it could be like. It takes you on excursions in your mind. It takes you on trips in your mind. Why? So you can download it into your reality and start practicing to bring it into your real world, to make that your reality world, your reality system. And you are rewriting. When you rewrite the script, the original transcript that is written, what do? You get an overwrite. You overwrite on the old mindset. You overwrite on the new transcript. You got to overwrite, because you got to demagnetize from what you are drawing. You have to demagnetize a system. And those of you who was not born into a narcissist home, but you met a narcissist, and this narcissist, controlled your life so much until that's the life you remember. You done forgot all the other things that was beautiful. Relationship you had where you actually loved somebody that loved you. It just that relationship didn't work out, because now all you seeing is the narcissist transcription, because the narcissist transcription is power. They usually transcribe with deep engraving imagery that is engraved in your mind, engraved on your heart, engraved in your dreams. And this narcissist, when they experience, they are well aware of mental training. They are well aware of psychological repetition. They are well aware of imprinting and duplication. They are copying systems in you over and over, and every day, every week they have to make sure they tell you how useless you are and how you don't deserve this and how they wasted their time with you, even though they know in their mind that's not true. It doesn't matter what they know. What matters is what you know. Do you know that's not true? Do you know that's not you? Do you know that the standard is higher? Do you know that you are better? You have to know that you're better. And listen to me. Some of you got a real fight on hand. I'm telling you, you are equipped for the fight, but you have to be the one to overwrite all other default systems. You have to get an upgrade. Once you upgrade, the old system is eliminated. You must go for an upgrade. You must not use your default system. The default system came with all kind of malfunctions, and these malfunctions will continue, and they can go generations where every child you have start drawing the narcissist. You don't want them to draw the narcissist. You're saying right here, it stopped here. My child is going to make it. My child will draw healthy relationship, powerful relationship, and you can be the catalyst to that. You can be the introduction to that. You can be the gateway to that. When you change, you can change what is under you, because they will learn from you, the master of the art. You went through for 15 years, 20 years, 30 years. Okay, it's time to overwrite. It's time to update. It's time to pull out all information. Start your delete system and then permanently delete that out of your life so you can bring in and download a new system. Transcription is when they write the program on your mind. Translation is when that program start activating. You talk the program, you act the program, you believe the program. That's the translation. And the translation is your belief system, your oratory system, what you are saying about yourself. Don't say what the narcissist said. Those are killers. You want to say life about yourself. Even if you have to convince yourself, keep saying it. Keep saying it. Keep saying it. If you keep saying it, eventually the faith and the security and the confidence is going to come to that belief system, and you're going to start believing it. And once you start believing it, you're going to know this transcription does not work, and I will not translate on their behalf. It's the wrong language. It's not my language. It's not my way of speaking. It's not my belief system. I'm changing my mind. When you change your mind, the way you dress is the mantle on you. The changing of the mind is the way you will be addressed. They would address you the way they see you. And when you start having confidence on the inside, it permeates through your life, and it permeates into the ambience, and your environment will begin to confirm your true self. And you will start to change, and you will demagnetize. And guess what you will do? You will not keep drawing narcissists. You will draw powerful, magnificent people that love you. You have not been loved until you've been loved away from a narcissist, because love is reciprocating. What you give, you're getting. You give it, you get it. You give it, you get it. It's reciprocating. The narcissist cannot reciprocate love. So you've been there for 30 years, but you haven't been loved. You still a virgin in the arena of love. That's why you have to build your mind, grow your mind. When I was in London, a young man by the name of Bishop Climate, now wise man, he said, we will build, we will prosper. He said, we will build, we will finish, we will prosper, and we have victory. You will build, and what you build, you will finish. And that finishing is going to bring you to prosperity, and you will have victory. And you have to say this every day. I will build, I will finish, I will prosper, and I have victory. Teach your children that. They say it all the time, say it every day. And one day you say that, boom, and the lights will come on. And you will realize you have built, you will finish, you are prosperous, and you have victory. Transcribing, you can get overwrites and override the original transcription. Translation, it will bring in change, because you will update your version, and your language will go with your new transcription, and your atmosphere will confirm it. And everything that's not conducive to that atmosphere will find no place for its development, for its consistency, for its growth. And when you take something and put it in an environment that it cannot live, it dies or it removes itself. You will build, you will finish, you will prosper, and you have victory. Please Subscribe to my video, like and share the page. If you've never subscribed to my video, subscribe to my videos. Enjoy the immense videos that are available for you. They will strengthen you. They will build you. They will make you a finisher. They will help prosper you, and they will definitely give you victory. So subscribe, like and share my videos. I am Helen Sadler, and guess what? I am your destiny helper. I will see you on the next video.